Hello, children. Very good evening. Welcome to the session. Today, we are here to discuss about the DNA fingerprinting technique, right? So, before I go for the DNA fingerprinting, how we got this term, the DNA fingerprinting? To understand this term, let us get back to the human fingerprints, right? So, as you can see, if I ask you to take all your 5 fingers of your hand and have a look at all those 5 fingers, each finger has a unique pattern, right? Yes. So each finger is having a unique pattern. And we came to know that no two people will have the same fingerprints, right? And that is the reason why we have been using this human fingerprints as a way to identify the individuals. Is this clear? Because each person's fingerprints are unique. So the fingerprints are unique. So from a very long time, we have been using it as a way to identify the individuals. Identify the individual, right? And we came to know that on this globe, no two people will have the same DNA fingerprint. No two people will have the same DNA fingerprint. Sorry, not the DNA fingerprint, the same fingerprint. Right? So now you must be getting a doubt. Is it true for the monozygotic twins? Yes, it is true, including the monozygotic twins. Including the monozygotic twins. We are calling them as identical twins, right? Well, so each and every person has a unique fingerprints, and because of this unique pattern, we have been making use of this as a way to identify an individual, right? Are we good to go? Yes. Now, well, you must be having a doubt here. Ma'am, monozygotic twins means they have the same genetic material because they are arising from the same zygote. Then how are their fingerprints different? Yes, their fingerprints are different because when we try to understand which factors are responsible for determining the patterns of the fingerprints, we understood that it is the genetic and the environmental factors. Genetic and the environmental factors put together will determine the patterns of fingerprints, right? That means by birth the fingerprint is not decided. As the organism will grow, the development and growth will happen. During that time, the pattern of the fingerprint will be decided. So as a result, every fingerprint is different from the other. Either it is the 5 fingers of a given hand or two different people's, right? Yes. Now, let us talk about the DNA fingerprint. What is this DNA fingerprint? So, just to tell this, the DNA fingerprint is also a unique pattern that helps us to identify an individual. Now, here the unique pattern is not a line or anything, but it is the unique pattern of the bands of DNA. The DNA fingerprint refers to the unique pattern of bands of DNA on agarose gel. As you can see here in this image, you can come across specific lane like this. This is one lane, this is another lane, isn't it? This is another lane. Now this is another lane. Each lane, as you can see, each lane has its own pattern of bands. Can you see the bands here? Yes. So these are the bands obtained. Here these are the two bands obtained at this specific positions. In lane 2, these are the two bands obtained at this specific position, and in lane 3, only one band obtained in this specific position. So the term DNA fingerprint exactly refers to this unique pattern of bands of DNA that are obtained on agarose gel, right? So how these bands are obtained is the next step. That is, when you look at the process of generating the DNA bands, we are going to learn about it. I hope this is clear, right?